meeting that must have been? If I'm buying a woman slave, then that she can nurture the child, she has to have a big want. And so that she can pass children through the birth canal, she has to have broad what? Thank you very much.
And thank you very much. Let's give Dr. Nichols one final round of applause. This was a tremendous evening, very tremendous evening. And I think that it goes to show again that we can achieve our liberation only with superior intelligence. And we are most thankful for a person such as Dr. Edwin J. Nichols in helping us bring that about. And certainly this won't be the last time that he will be invited back to the slave theater. As we get ready to hold hands, let me also say that we will be sponsoring a Holocaust exposition where all of the accoutrements of slavery will be displayed the last Saturday in February. So most of you should stay tuned. There are people amongst us who have gone in and around Africa as well as here and have the type of exhibits that will really demonstrate slavery in a very deep manner. And on that particular day, you should certainly bring a young child alone. Finally, let me say that Brother Shange here, situation still has not been remedied. And all of us under the Nguzo Saba should recognize that his problem is also our problem, and not just engage in empty rhetoric about it. And so we should raise the question as to what has happened to him and where has his support gone. You should ask that question on radio and elsewhere, because to lose this brother would be a real tragedy. But the community can be strong enough that we can overcome that. But it is clear that his support in the face of Jewish pressure, in the face of prosecutorial investigations, have all run for the tall grass, as they always do. And so, Brother Shange, as I've indicated to you before, all that we can do, we're still committed to it. Because there are some of us who don't run from trouble. We run to it. And so we will be with you. We don't care what anybody says, because charges of anti-Semitism don't bother us here, because we are not financed by white folks. And speaking of finance, as you leave, please drop a couple of dollars in the plate. On a serious tip, I will not be offended if you put a 5 or a 10 in the basket. I mean, seriously, on a serious note, and at our membership meeting, I will explain to you why. These are things that we keep among ourselves, but we share them openly at the membership meetings. We want to thank all of you for coming out this evening for a great evening with Dr. Nichols, and I certainly will be one of those who will be reviewing your tapes because there was a lot of knowledge that was given here this evening, and we are all most grateful for it. And next week we will be back here to deal with some serious questions as Reverend Bevel talks about and give parallels to the lives of Dr. King, whom he served as the chief strategist, and Minister Louis Farrakhan, whom he has worked very closely with respect to the Million Man March this year as well as next. And he will be discussing King and Farrakhan, one and the same. And it is a deep lecture, and certainly one that I'm sure that Dr. Bevel, because of his deep philosophical understandings, can present like nobody else. And so he will give a preliminary, however, on WLIB next Wednesday at 12 noon. He'll be on there for a few minutes. But he will deal with it in its entirety here at the Slave Theater. We're an African people, robbed from our homeland, robbed of our names, our languages, our cultures, our religions, our selfhood, our nationhood, our womanhood, our manhood, our sisterhood, our brotherhood, our motherhood, our fatherhood, and our self-respect. But we shall rise, never to fall again. Up, ye mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hug the person again and let them know you still love them, because they are African.